Hello viewers, welcome to my channel. This is Geeta. Study the given information carefully and answer the questions that follow. The given below graph shows a percentage distribution of the number of cakes baked by 5 shops on a given day. Total number of cakes baked by the 5 shops were 400. So this is the percentage distribution, like out of 400 cakes, A, this is the dark blue color, which is 10%. So A made 10% of cakes, B 20% of cakes, C 35% of cakes, D 20% of cakes, and E 15% of cakes. The given below table shows the percentage of cakes ordered from the 5 shops out of the baked cakes. So this is the shop and the percentage of cakes ordered from these shops. For example, Shop A made 10% of cakes out of this 400 and out of this 60% were ordered. Note, number of cakes unsold will be equals to, we know that the number of cakes baked minus the number of cakes ordered. So for example, check for A alone. So which is for shop A, out of 400 cakes, it made 10%, that is cakes made. So which is, this is only for A I am doing here. So out of this 400, it made 10% of cakes, 10 by 100. So 0, 0 gets cancelled and 0, 0 get cancelled, which is equals 40 times 1 is 40. So out of this 400 cakes, it made only 40 cakes. And out of this 40 cakes, 60% were ordered, which is sold. So the sold cakes here is 40. Out of this 40 cakes, 60%. Just 60 by 100. Again 0, 0 gets cancelled. And 0, 0 gets cancelled. Just 6 times 4 is 24. Which is out of the 40 cakes they made, they sold 24 cakes. Which means the unsold cakes are this 40 minus 24, which is 16. So 16 cakes were unsold. So this is the data we are going to find for the rest of the shops. Let's find this data for the rest of the shops here before solving this problem. So now for B, first let's find the number of cakes they made, which is 400 times, for B it is 20%, which is 20 by 100. 0, 0 gets cancelled, 0, 0 gets cancelled, which is 40 times 2 is 80. Number of cakes made by shop B is 80. Sold, so percentage of cakes ordered from shop B is 75%. So out of this 80 cakes, 75% were sold, which is 0, 0 gets cancelled. You can simplify this by any way, any method, whichever is easy for you. So 2 4 times is 8, 2 5 times is 10, and 5 15 times is 75. So which is equals 15 times 4 is 60. So the cake sold here is 60, which means the unsold cakes, which is 80 minus 60, which is equals 20. Now for the shop C, out of this 400, let's see the number of cakes they made, which is C. 35%. Out of this 400 cakes, they made 35%. 35 by 100, 0, 0 gets cancelled. So 4 times 35 is 140 cakes. And the cakes ordered from this shop is 80%, which is out of this 140, 80% of cakes were sold from here, which is 0, 0 gets cancelled. Again 0, 0 gets cancelled. 14 times 8, which is 112. So the number of unsold cakes here is 140 minus 112, which is 28. And now for the shop D, which is 20%. They made the 20% of cakes out of this 400. So which is, you can also find like this, which is 20% of cakes here is, 10% is 40. So which is 20% is 80. Or you can also divide by 5, which is 80. So there's multiple methods to find the percentage value. 0, 0 gets cancelled, 0, 0 gets cancelled, and 2 times 40 is 8. And the number of cakes sold here, 95%. Out of this 80 cakes, 95% of the cakes are sold, which is again 0, 0 gets cancelled. 2 4 times is 8, 2 5 times is 10, 5 1 times is 5, and difference is 4, and 5 9 times is 45. So 19 times 4 is 76. So the difference is unsold cakes is just 4. And for the shop E, which is they made 15% of cakes, so which is out of this 400, they made 15%, which is 15 by 100. Again 0, 0 get cancelled, and 15 times 4 is 60. So again, out of the 60 cakes, the number of cakes sold here is 90%, which is 90 by 100. Again, same method you can follow, which is like out of this 100% is 60. So there is 10% minus, which is 10% is 6. So 60 minus 6 is 54. Or you can do this method, which is 0, 0 gets cancelled, 0, 0 gets cancelled, 6 times 9 is 54. Anything is fine. So 60 minus 54 equals 6, which means 6 cakes is left unsold here. So now we have the data for shop A, shop B, shop C, shop D and shop E. Now 54th question is, we are solving from SBI PO 2020 question paper. The number of cakes unsold from shop E is what percentage more than the number of cakes unsold from shop D? So here shop E is more compared to shop D because they are asking for shop E is what percentage more than the number of cakes sold from shop D. Shop E minus shop D divided by shop D times 100%. So the values are E is unsold cakes are 6 minus unsold cakes in shop D is 4 divided by shop D times 100%, which is equals 2 by 4 times 100%, which is 2. 1 times 2, 2 times 4. You can simplify this any method. So 250 times 250 times is 100. So equals 50%. So which means the percentage more than this. Shop E is what percentage more than the number of cakes unsold from shop D is 50%. 55th problem from SBI PO 2020 question paper. If the total number of cakes baked by all the shops is distributed in a degree pie chart, what would have been the central angle for shop C? So the total degree of a pie chart will be 360 degree. So degree of pie chart will be the total degree of pie chart is 360 degree. So here they are asking for the shop C. The percentage of shop C here is 35%, which is 35% of 360 degree. Whenever it is off, it is times, which is 35%. 35% is 35 by 100 times 360 degrees. So which is 0, 0 gets cancelled, and you can simplify this any method, whichever is easy for you. I'm doing like this, which is 5 7 times is 35, 5 2 times is 10, and 2 18 times is 36. So 7 times 18 is 126 degrees. So the baked cakes to be distributed in a degree pie chart, then it would be 126 degrees. 56th problem from SBI PO 2020 question paper. The cost of baking each cake for shop D was rupees 200. If 25% of the cakes were sold for rupees 175 and the remaining were sold for rupees 250. If no revenue is generated from the unsold cakes, what will be the total profit percentage for shop D? So we are going to find profit for shop D. So let's get the data for shop D. So which is, this is shop D. So the cakes made were like 80 cakes. The cakes made as 80 and sold cakes 76 and unsold cakes is 4. So now the data given here is the cost of baking each cake for shop D was rupees 200. So total cake they made is 80. The cost for making each cake is 200, which is equal. So the total amount they spent is 16,000. Now, if 25% of the cakes were sold for rupees 175, the sold cake here is 76. So out of the 76 cake, first 25%, which is 25 by 100, that is 25 1 times 25, 4 times is 100, and 4 1 times is 4, 4 9 times is 36. So 19 cakes. So first 19 times 1 is 19. So the 19 cakes were sold for rupees 175. So which is equals 3,325 rupees. Now, the remaining were sold for rupees 250. So remaining, that is out of the 76, 19 is sold for 175, whereas the remaining, which is 76 minus 19, the remaining cakes are, you can either do like this or times 7500, which is remaining 75% of cakes. So 76 minus 19 is 57. 57 cakes were sold for 57 times 250. The total amount after selling the cakes is 14,250 plus 3,325, which is equals 17,575. The cakes made for 16,000 and the cake sold for 17,575, which is 17,575 minus 16,000. So the profit they made here is 1575. So 1,575 rupees. What will be the total profit percentage? So whenever they are asking for the profit percentage or percentage increase, the formula we use here is the final value minus initial value divided by the initial value times 100, since they are asking for the percentage. So which is equals, the final value we know here is 17,575 minus the initial value we know here is 16,000. That is the amount spent for making these cakes, divided by the initial value, which is 16,000, times 100. So which is equals, in this difference we know already, which is 1,575 divided by 16,000 times 100. So simplifying this, 0, 0 gets cancelled, and 5, 3 times is 15, 16, 5, 2 times is 10, 5, 3 times is 15, 5, 1 times is 5, 6, 7, 5, 5 times is 25. You can use any methods to simplify this. So when we divide this, the 315 divided by 32, the answer will be 9.84%. So the total profit percentage for shop D is 9.84. 57th problem from SBI PO 2020 question paper. What is the ratio of number of cakes baked by shop C and the number of cakes sold by shop B? So the number of cakes baked by shop C, that is made by shop C, is 140 is to the ratio. Since they are asking for ratio, it's is to. And the number of cakes sold by shop B. So sold by shop B is 60 cakes. So just we have to simplify this. So 0, 0 gets cancelled 2 times, which is 2. 7 times is 14. 2, 3 times is 6. 2 is the common factor of 6 and 14. So the ratio is 7:3. So the ratio of number of cakes baked by shop C and the number of cakes sold by shop B is 7:3. So the 58th problem here is, the number of cakes that were unsold from shops A and B and C, 25% were given to beggars. Of the remaining 25% were eaten by staffs of the shops, while the rest was sold the next day at 10% loss. If each cake costed rupees 250 to bake for all the shops, what was the total amount earned from these cakes? So let's solve step by step. Just from the first step, the number of cakes that were unsold from shops A, B and C. So now we are going to find the unsold cakes from shop A, B and C. Unsold cakes A plus B plus C. So let's see how many cakes are, which is unsold cakes of A is 16, 20 and 28. So which is 16 plus 20 plus 28. So which equals 64. Now from the next line, 25% were given to the beggars. So out of the 64 cakes, 25% is given to beggars, which is 25% is equals 25 by 100. So simplifying this, you can simplify any method, which is 25 1 times is 25, 25 4 times is 100, and 4 16 times is 64. 16 times 1 is 16. So 16 cakes were given to beggars. Of the remaining, 25 were eaten by staff of the shops. So remaining is 64 minus 16, that is 64 cakes unsold, and 16 is given to beggars. So the remaining here is 48 cakes. 64 minus 16 equals 48. So this 48, out of this 48, 25% were eaten by the staff of the shops, which is 48 times 25%. It is 25 by 100. 1 times is 25, 4 times is 100. So 12 times is 48. So which is equals 12 cakes. So staffs ate 12 cakes. The rest was sold the next day. So the rest is, out of this 48, staffs ate 12. So which is equals 36. So this 36 cakes were sold the next day at 10% loss. So which is, so the making of each cake is 250 rupees. So out of this, 10% loss is 10 by 100, which is 0, 0 gets cancelled and 0, 0 gets cancelled. So which is 25. So 250 minus 25 is the loss rate, which is 250 minus 25 is, so 225. So the remaining cakes were sold for 225 rupees. That is, this remaining 36 cakes were sold for 225 rupees, which is equals 8,100 rupees. So the total amounts earned from the remaining cakes is 8,100 rupees. So the next problem, 59th problem, if the next day number of cakes ordered increased by 20% for shop B, while the number of cakes baked by shop B remained the same. Then the number of cakes unsold by shop B is more than how many shops? So we are going to find the cakes baked by shop B only for shop B and cakes sold and cakes unsold. So the cakes made by shop B is 80. So they remain the unsame. So it's just 80 as it is. So the number of cakes ordered increased by 20%, which is becomes 120%. That is 100 plus 20% is 120% of whatever the cakes sold last time, which is 60. So 120% of 60 this time, which is 60 times 120 by 100. So 0, 0 gets cancelled, 0, 0 gets cancelled. 6 times 12 is 72. So the cakes unsold is 80 minus 72. 80 minus 72. The cakes made minus the cakes sold, which is 8. So the shop B still has 8 cakes unsold, which is comparatively more than shop D and shop E. Whereas shop D has only 4 cakes unsold and shop D has only 6 cakes unsold. Shop B has 8 cakes unsold. So which is like how many shops? It's comparatively more than 2 shops, that is D and E. Thanks for watching. If you have any doubts, please let me know in the comments.